The story begins as a girl runs from a pack of wolves. She falls over as she runs, and she tries to fight them off with her broom. She ends up getting cornered by them, and there are two men that see her. The older man says it's pointless to help, but the younger man can't bear the sight and rushes in to help her. As he gets closer and prepares to attack, the girl tells him not to interfere. She flies on her broom, kicking the wolf, and cuts it in half with a single slash. The man is left stunned, and the girl warns him not to steal her loot. The girl continues to slay the wolves, and the man wonders about who she is. His friend tells him that she is Anis, also known as the Marauder Princess. She shows up whenever there are rare magical beasts, and she fights using her strange magical tools. Anis is overjoyed by her loot, and after the battle, she gathers all the materials from her hunt. The group of adventurers thanks her for her help, but she says it was no problem because she needed the materials anyway, calling it a win-win. The men are confused about what this means, but she explains that it means everyone ends up happy, saying that she wants to be a magician that uses her powers to make people happy. She picks up a wolf head and heads on her way. The younger man wonders why a princess would use such strange magical tools, and we learn that she was born without the ability to use magic. Back in the city, in the royal palace, we meet the king and his son Prince Algard. Anis strolls past, pleased with her haul. She greets her father, but he starts yelling at her for hunting monsters and getting filthy so early in the morning. He reminds her she is a princess, but she starts pleading for him not to hit her, calling it abuse. With the ministers watching, the king hesitates, and Anis takes the chance and makes a run for it. The duke picks up the wolf head and becomes impressed. Normal swords cannot penetrate the wolf, but she was able to skin it so cleanly using her mana blade. The king continues on his way, but complains that Anis is only interested in inventing new magical tools, even renouncing her right to the throne. But it seems there are some ministers that are against her magical science. At the royal villa, we see Anis as she gets cleaned up with her maid Ilya. Ilya notes how Anis has always been odd, ever since she was 5, and suddenly said she wanted to fly. We see a flashback to Anis looking up at a bird and wishing she could fly with magic. This triggers a memory of another world, remembering witches and their brooms. Following this, we see her countless experiments and failures, trying to fly on a broom. She gets into some fresh clothes and tells Ilya she is going out to see Tilty to discuss her medication. We meet Tilty as Anis enthusiastically hands her a large piece of magicite, hoping to make medicine with a higher potency. We learn that she takes pills which let her use magic, although there are some side effects. Tilty asks if she can fly yet, saying that it is dangerous. Anis tells her she can only fly at low altitudes, but is confident she will be able to fly soon. Tilty tells her the kingdom is in trouble with a princess like her, but Anis says it will be fine with her brother Algard, who is even getting married soon. Tilty asks her what she thinks about his fiancée, Euphyllia, the genius daughter of the duke, but Anis says she hasn't really talked with her. But she has a memory of when they were younger, and Anis is amazed as she secretly watches Euphyllia practicing her magic, and she is completely entranced. At the Royal Academy, we meet Euphyllia as she is with her friends. Algard comes in with a girl named Lainey, and he walks right past her without acknowledging her. Seeing them together, her friends start to gossip, but Euphyllia plays it off, saying Algard is just being friendly. Later, we see Euphyllia waiting, and the prince eventually shows up. It turns out that their marriage is just political, and it seems the prince is annoyed at the arrangement. Euphyllia warns him about his behavior at the academy, wanting to avoid any rumors, and she even warned Lainey as well. Algard tells her he will do as he pleases, and storms away. As he walks, he comes across Anis and her maid. She has found a new broom, and jokes that she loves brooms so much, she traded her right to the throne for one. Algard is annoyed hearing this, and storms right past them. Later that night, the weather is perfect, and Anis prepares to experiment with her new broom. Ilya worries for her, but Anis assures her and takes off. She becomes overjoyed to be finally flying, and says her dream from her previous life has come true. But the broom suddenly jerks, and it starts flying out of control. Meanwhile, at the academy graduation party, Euphyllia enters alone, and everyone stares at her, and rumors start to spread. Suddenly the prince enters, and he is accompanied by Lainey. The prince congratulates everyone on graduating, but soon announces to everyone that he is calling off his engagement to Euphyllia. Euphyllia asks if the king knows about this, but the prince says he can make his own decision. Euphyllia asks why he is calling off their engagement, and the prince says she is not worthy, pointing out how she has committed atrocities against Lainey. Euphyllia is shocked at the accusation, but the prince says that Lainey was bullied, stolen from, and there was even an assassination plot. Euphyllia has no idea what he is talking about, but there is a group that is testifying against her, saying that she sent her friends to harass Lainey. Euphyllia is stunned, and thinks about how she just wanted to be a good queen, and set an example for everyone. The prince tells her to repent and apologize to Lainey, and Euphyllia is left speechless, as she breaks down in tears. But suddenly, Honest comes crashing through the window and lands right between them. She greets her brother, but soon realizes she dropped in at a bad time. She sees Euphyllia and asks her what's going on, but looking at her expression, she deduces that her brother called off their engagement. Euphyllia's tears build, but Honest takes her hand and says she will take her away. She picks her up, and they fly off on her broom. Euphyllia is amazed they are flying, and wonders where they are going. Honest tells her they are going to her father the king and the duke, so she can ask for their permission to have her instead, and Euphyllia is left feeling confused. But that's where this video ends. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.